Hello viewers, welcome to this video lecture series on analysis and design of algorithms. From this session onwards, I shall start discussing algorithms which are based on dynamic programming. So the very first in the list is the Floyd's algorithm. And moreover, when you try to compare this Floyd's algorithm with the previous method, Dijkstra's algorithm, what is that you are observing? Dijkstra's algorithm will find the shortest path from one single source vertex to all other vertices in the graph. Whereas Floyd's algorithm is going to find the shortest path between every pair of vertices. So this algorithm is using the approach called as dynamic programming. So in this session I shall explain you the pseudocode for the Floyd's algorithm. So I'll explain the steps of this algorithm with an example, and finally I'll tell you about the time complexity of this algorithm. So what exactly is the approach here? The approach used is dynamic programming. So before you start learning this Floyd's algorithm's logic, you should know what is dynamic programming. Earlier we have seen approaches wherein a main problem is getting divided into sub-problems, and you are going to recursively call a function in order to carry out the sub-problem. That means you are solving that problem again and again. You are solving that sub-problem again and again. Dynamic program avoids this. How it is going to avoid this kind of solving the sub-problem again and again? It stores all the results, okay, of the sub-problem in a table, and later in subsequent stages it makes use of the values that are stored in the table to get the solution. So you can check here the statement what I have written for the dynamic programming. Rather than solving overlapping sub-problems again and again, dynamic programming suggests solving each of the smaller sub-problem only once and record results in a table from which the solution to the original problem can be obtained. So remember this statement, and this is what is the approach that is used in the dynamic programming. So we shall see here the different algorithms that are making use of this approach, how the values are getting stored in a table and how you are obtaining the results from those tables to move to the next stage of the solution. In this way, finally you reach the solution to the original problem. This session, the Floyd's algorithm is the one which is making use of the dynamic approach. Let me explain this Floyd's algorithm with an example here. So what will be the problem statement and how you are going to solve it, and then I will explain you the pseudocode for this Floyd's algorithm. Later I'll tell you about the time complexity and the applications of the Floyd's algorithm. So let us start now. This will be the graph given in the problem statement. The question will be apply Floyd's algorithm to determine the shortest paths between all pairs for the given directed graph. So a few things you should know about the Floyd's algorithm is, the first one is you are going to apply this, okay, for a n by n matrix only, and whatever values you write in the matrix you call that as the distance matrix. This algorithm is named after a person, Robert W. Floyd, and it is applicable to both directed and undirected graphs. So here I have taken a directed graph. What should be the first step and how you are going to proceed here in order to solve the problem? Let me show you step by step. See, the first thing is whatever is the given graph, you obtain the initial matrix. So this matrix we denote it with D0 and we call this as the distance matrix. So how you are going to write is, just check here the number of vertices. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You are going to write the same thing for the columns because it is a n by n matrix. You will be having how many elements? 4 into 4, 16 elements you are going to store it in this. Fine. Let me sketch a little smaller here. So you are going to fill all the elements here. The very first element, how do you start calculating? So to write the elements here, you are simply referring the given graph and start writing the values. 1 to 1. Look here. 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3 and 4 to 4. They do not have edges. So all these values 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3 and 4 to 4. This diagonal values will be 0. Next you start writing from here. 1 to 2, yes, there is an edge going from 1 to 2 and the cost is, or the weight is 3. Then 1 to 3, 1 to 3, 1 to 3, yes, 1 to 3 there is no edge, so you need to write it as infinity. 1 to 3 definitely you can reach. Later you will come to know whether it is through one of the intermediate vertices. Presently the very first, that is the initial distance matrix, you are going to write these values. Whichever are directly connected and whichever do not have the edges, those values you are going to write it in the initial matrix. Next 1 to 4. 1 to 4, yes, there is an edge with a cost of 7. 2 to 1. 2 to 1 there is an edge with a cost of 8. 2 to 3. 2 to 3 there is an edge with a cost of 2. Next 2 to 4. 2 to 4, no, it is not directly connected, infinity. 3 to 1. 3 to 1, yes, there is an edge with a cost of 5. Then 3 to 2, 3 to 2, not directly connected, infinity. 3 to 4, 3 to 4, there is an edge with a cost of 1. 4 to 1, 4 to 1, you have 2. Then 4 to 3, infinity. Then 4 to 2, 4 to 2 is also infinity, and 4 to 3 is also infinity. So this is your initial matrix. The values are written over here. So once you write this initial matrix D0, you are going to make the next matrix now D1. Now what is the logic that is used here in calculating D1? D1, first you have to refer D0. In order to construct D1, you need to refer D0. And also when you are making ready the D1 matrix, whatever are the first row elements and whatever are the first column elements, you are going to copy down as it is from the initial matrix. So it will be 0, 3, 8, this values. I'll circle it. 0, 3, infinity 7, 0, 3, infinity 7, and the first column 0, 8, 5, 2. 0, 8, 5, 2. These things you have copied down as it is. Now here the remaining and also this diagonal elements you need to write down as it is. No need to change anything here. So it is infinity. Now your job is to find this and this. Totally you need to find here 6 values. To start determining the values for this, remember you are going to find what for D1. D1 is for which one it is? For 2, 3. See, you are going to find here the value for the edge 2, 3. For the edge 2, 3 in D1, write like this. For the edge 2, 3 in D1, you are going to find out by referring to the previous matrix D0. So you have to refer the previous matrix. In that you have to check the minimum of 2 values. Which are those 2 values? Minimum of D0 of 2 to 3. That means what is the cost on the edge 2 to 3 in D0 matrix. Okay. And D0, and what is the cost on the edge 2 to 1 plus what is the cost on the edge 1 to 3. Look, on what basis did I write this formula? You are going to determine 2, 3. Okay, what is the cost on 2 to 3 in D1? For that you check in the previous matrix whatever you recorded, what is the value you got for 2 to 3. 2 to 3 you got it as 2, comma, and what did you get for D0? 2 to 1. 2 to 1 you got 8, and 1 to 3 you got infinity. Okay, minimum of these 2. Now why did we choose 2 to 1 and 1 to 3? See, edge is 2, 3, and here while writing down we have introduced 2 to 1 and 1 to 3. So the basic funda is like this. In the previous matrix, okay, to reach 2 to 3, okay, what is the cost? And now you are introducing an intermediate vertex 1. So if the vertex 1 is here, what is the cost on this edge 2 to 1? What is the cost on this edge 1 to 3? So you are including now D1 whenever you are calculating value, whenever you are calculating values for the D1 matrix, for every edge you calculate the cost. Okay, you need to introduce the intermediate vertex 1. Fine. By considering the intermediate vertex 1, which one is minimum you have to take. It is simply like this. Suppose if I write, for example, I can reach 2 to 3 at a cost of 1, I can reach 2 to 1 at a cost of 1, and I can reach 1 to 3 at a cost of 1. So you have to find out here whether you will take 3 directly going or you will go via 1. So if you go via 1, it is 1 plus 1 in this case. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 3, 2, the minimum is 2 here. So you will always try to see what the minimum cost that is going to occur when you are moving from one vertex to another vertex. Even though it is via the intermediate vertex, at present it is only one intermediate vertex. Even if it is having 2 or 3 or 4 intermediate vertices, whatever is the minimum, whether to reach directly or via intermediate vertices, this decision you need to take. So to carry out this only, you are writing here for every value of D1, you will always compare with the previous values that are stored in the initial matrix and then select whether you can reach directly or via the intermediate matrix. then that one you will note down and take the minimum of this. So this is the logic here. So complete algorithm logic is based on this formula. So I have written the formula here, you can check. This is the recurrence relation. You can always see here I have written d distance on distance from I to j for the kth matrix. Okay, you should always refer k minus 1, the previous matrix. Okay, take what is the cost on this, comma, take whether if you introduce the intermediate vertex. Now you are introducing what, the intermediate vertex k. So I to k plus d of k to j. Now I to k and d of I to k plus d of k to j. K is the intermediate vertex here. Whether this or this, whichever is minimum, you select that and store it in the current matrix for that edge. So this is your formula that you are applying. This one you are applying for all values of k greater than or equal to 1. That means if the intermediate vertex is at least 1 or above, not 0. In case if it is 0, that means what? It becomes the initial matrix. We are writing here d of ij of 0 equal to w of ij. W of ij is what? Whatever are the weights initially given in the graph. So this formula you are applying only in the case of what? K greater than or equal to 1. At least one intermediate matrix, 1 or above, not 0. In case if k is equal to 0, that means there is no intermediate matrix, then it is simply like d of j of 0, that is the initial one. Initial one we have written. For the initial one you are going to write as it is, whatever are the weights given in the graph, w of ij will get assigned to this. This is what you have done here. So now let me continue. This is one example. Now if you see here, minimum is how much? 2 comma 8 plus infinity, minimum is 2. So here you are writing, okay, in this case 2 to 3 is what? The cost from 2 to 3 is 2. Similarly, you have to write here for d1 of this one, you need to calculate 2 comma 4. d1 of 2 comma 4 is 2 comma 4. Refer here 2 comma 4. In the previous one you are denoting it with d0, 2 comma 4. Now introduce the intermediate vertex 1. So in d0 only, if it is 2 comma 1 plus d0 1 comma 4. So getting the point here, look, 2 comma 4, 2 is here, 4 is here. In between you have introduced what? The intermediate vertex 1. So now you need to write the values for this minimum of these two, minimum of d0 of 2 comma 4 and d0 of 2 comma 1 plus d0 of 1 comma 4, which is minimum that you need to identify from the d0 matrix. 2 comma 4, 2 comma 4 is infinity, comma 2 comma 1, 2 comma 1 is 8 plus 1 comma 4 is how much? 7. So minimum of these two values, 8 plus 7 is 15. So you will get 15 here. So you will be writing, okay, this d1 2 comma 4 is 15. So in this way you need to substitute the values and write down for different for all the remaining, like you need to calculate d1 of 3 comma 2, then d1 of 3 comma 4, d1 of 4 comma 2 and d1 of 4 comma 3. So these 4 more values you need to write down. I'll just write directly the values here. You continue solving like this. You continue substituting in this formula and try to get the values. So let me fill the D1 matrix now so that I can show you the sample values for D2 and D3 also. One sample value. The same formula you apply and try to get the values or elements. I have written the values here. Now let me write for D2. I'll just tell you how to proceed. For D2 it will be D2, how are you writing the matrix? D2 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, D2 matrix to construct, you should refer. For D1, you were referring D0. For D2, you should refer what? D1. And to refer D1, first thing is, since you are introducing the intermediate vertex 2 now, the second column and second row of D1, you have to copy down as it is. So, second column is 3, 0, 8, 5. And 0, 8 and second row is 8, 0, 2, 15. The diagonal elements also you write it as it is. Now you need to find out these 6 values, and to find that same formula D2 of d2 of, you can check here 1 comma 3 you need to find out. So d2 of 1 comma 3 is what? Minimum of in d1 1 comma 3 comma d1 of, in between now you have to introduce 1 and 3 are your vertices. So here you should write down minimum of d1 1 comma 2 plus d1 2 comma 3. Look here, this is your intermediate vertex 2. Check in d1. d1 is what? 1 comma 3. 1 comma 3 is infinity. Minimum of plus d1 1 comma 2. 1 comma 2 is 3 plus 2 comma 3. 2 comma 3 is 2. So in this minimum will be what? Infinity comma 5. Minimum is 5. So this 5 will go here. Okay. This 5 is your d2 of d2 of 1 comma 3. Similarly, find out d2 of 1 comma 4 and d2 of 3 comma 1, d2 of 3 comma 4, d2 of 4 comma 1, d2 of 4 comma 3. So once you find using this formula, you will get the values. I'll write directly here for d2 now. This way you have constructed d2. Now I shall show you how to construct d3 and d4. Two more matrices are remaining. So let me erase this. So d3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So to construct D3, follow the same procedure as you have done for the previous two matrices. For D3, you will be referring what? Only D2 now, and whatever are the third column elements and third row elements, you need to write down as it is. So 5, 2, 0, 7, and here it is 5, 8, 0, 1, and the diagonal elements keep it as it is. So you are going to find out these elements. 6 elements you need to find out. Follow the same procedure as you have done here. D3 of, now the very first thing what you are doing here is 1 comma 2. D3 of 1 comma 2 is minimum of, you are going to refer now the previous one D2. Minimum of D2 1 comma 2 comma D2, write down D2 of 1 comma 3 plus D2 of 3 comma 2. 1 comma 2. 1 to 2, 1 to 2, now it is 1 to 3 plus 3 to 2. Check in D2, 1 to 2, 1 to 2 is how much? 3, comma, 1 to 3 is how much? 1 to 3 is 5, plus 3 to 2, 3 to 2 is 8, so 3 comma 13. Minimum is how much? Minimum is 3. So your D3, in D3, 1 comma 2 is 3. So this way you can proceed now and find out D3 of 1 comma 4, D3 of 2 comma 1, D3 of 2 comma 4, D3 of 4 comma 1 and D3 of 4 comma 2. Like this you find and write down the values. I'll write the values now. And also just remember that in D3 you have copied down the third row elements, third column elements and third row elements as it is 5801, 5207. Just mark like this so you will not forget that these values, how did you arrive? You have copied down from the previous matrix. Same way now you have to write down for D4. This will be your last distance matrix. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. D4 you are referring always D3. The fourth column and fourth row elements you need to write as it is. Fourth column is 6, 3, 1, 0. And fourth row is 2, 5, 7, 0 and the diagonal elements as it is. Now you need to find out these. Start doing in the same manner as you have done earlier. The first one what you are calculating is D4 of 1 comma 2. Okay. D4 of 1 comma 2 is equal to minimum of, you are going to refer D3, minimum of D3 1 comma 2 plus D3. Now you are introducing what? The intermediate vertex 4. So 1 and 2 are the direct, fine. You are introducing now the intermediate vertex 4. So you will write here D3 1 comma 4 plus D3 4 comma 2. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, intermediate vertex 4. D3 you refer here 1 to 2 is 3 plus 1 to 4 in D3 is 6 plus sorry, this is minimum of 6 plus 4 to 2. 4 to 2 is how much? 5. So minimum of 3 comma 6 plus 5, 3 comma 11. 3 comma 11 minimum is 3. So your value here will be 3. Same way you try to find out d4 of 2 comma 1, d4 of 3 comma 1, d4 of 3 comma 2, and this one also d4 of 2 comma 3. So remaining elements you find out in the same way. I'll write down the values. You just check here the final distance matrix. Whatever values you get in the final matrix here, that becomes actually the shortest path between every pair. So you can always verify like this from the diagram also if you want. So you can verify with the diagram 1 to 1 0, 1 to 2 3, then 1 to 3 is 5. So 1 to 3 is 5 now. So earlier when we started with the initial matrix it was infinity. Now you can check here 1 to 3 it is 5, and it can be done like this 1 to 3. First go to 2, 1 to 2 is 3 and 2 to 3 is 5. So 3 plus 2 5, that is how you are getting. Then 1 to 4 is 6, 1 to 4 is 6. Earlier if you see 1 to 4 we got 7, but now we are looking for a smaller value. As far as possible we have to see what will be the smallest distance to reach to the destination vertex. So earlier 1 to 4 was 7. Now in the final matrix what we got is 1 to 4 as 6. So 1 to 4 as 6, how did we get? You look here, you traveled like this. First 1 to 2, okay, you got 3 here. Then 2 to 3, you got 2 here, 3 plus 2, 5. Then 3 to 4, here there is 1. So like this 3 plus 2 plus 1, this is 6. So you can reach from 1 to 4 via 2 and 3. So like this, these are the distances. Like this you can verify for all the remaining numbers that are there in the final distance matrix. So basically what we have done is we started with an initial distance matrix which is having only values to reach directly to the edges. Later, as and when we proceeded d1, d2, d3 and d4, so we started including in d1 just one intermediate vertex, in d2 two intermediate vertexes, in d3 3, like that we start increasing the number of intermediate vertices. And how did we get these values for the intermediate vertices? We are referring from the previous distance matrix, extracting the values from the previous distance matrices, and we are constructing here the current distance matrix. So this is what is the concept behind the dynamic programming. Also, dynamic programming says that you solve a subproblem, store it in a table, extract those values from the table to arrive at the solution for your current stage. And look at the algorithm here. So this is the pseudocode I have written here. Normally what is that we have to do? Flight's algorithm for all pair shortest path is the title. Input you are giving a weight matrix. Look here, all of these edges, all these edges should have a weight. Output is what? The distance matrix of the shortest path's length. So whatever you got, d4 is your output here. What is the first line in the pseudocode? W is assigned to D. This D is actually referring to the initial matrix you are constructing. Whatever is the given graph, whatever are the weights initially given here, that you are constructing as D0. And for k equal to 1 to n, for I equal to 1 to n, for j equal to 1 to n, apply this d of ij. Distance to reach from I to j is always what? Take the minimum of directly reaching from I to j or through an intermediate vertex k. So here the first for loop k is what? Keeping track of all the intermediate vertices. It starts from 1 to n, and so other two for loops I and j are used to store the what? The rows and columns of the matrices. And for each of this for loop, this statement will operate, and at the end it is going to return d, and this d is what? Your final matrix. In our case it is d4. This is your basic operation, and that is getting executed inside these three for loops. So how many number of times this execution will happen? N into n into n into n. Now since you are referring what the vertices here, it is v into v into v. So you can write down the time complexity of this algorithm as theta of vq. So this algorithm is having cubic behavior. Time complexity is equal to theta of v cube. So you can always write like this, theta of n cube. So this is about the time complexity of the Floyd's algorithm. So what are its applications? Determining the reachability of the nodes in a network will be one of the major application, and also to find the shortest path between every pair of vertices in a given directed graph. This is all about the Floyd's algorithm, pseudocode, example, time complexity and applications. Hope you find this session helpful. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye and take care.